So after that last episode being an utter disappointment, can May the Best Pet Win turn things around? Let's find out. It starts with Rainbow Dash flying around when she comes across the Messiah of Owls, Owlicious. No, I don't have any remaining hatred of that bird from Owlswell that ends well. What makes you think that? Rainbow challenges him to a race, and because that owl is the godliest creature in Equestria, it can actually keep up. Then it gets Winona's head, which changes into Angel's head, and then it gets Gummy's body, and finally, Jesus! What the hell was that about? I mean, that thing is goddamn creepy. And since the scene is just a dream, it has no relevance to the actual plot. So it comes off as the writers trying to freak out the audience on purpose. Like I said, it was just a dream. Rainbow wakes up to find that all of her friends were playing with their pets in the park for a playdate. They didn't tell Rainbow just because she didn't have a pet. And suddenly, Pinky's party of one breakdown becomes a lot more believable.
My friends are lying to me and avoiding me because they don't like my parties and they don't want to be my friends anymore!
Or at least it makes it a lot more justified. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Rainbow might have just wanted to, I don't know, spend more time with you? Pet or no pet? Isn't that what the whole point of this is? To spend time as friends? Instead of being angry at her friends, Rainbow suddenly decides that she wants a pet, and then this happens. What the fuck was that about? I don't know if it was cute, creepy, or just weird. Whatever it is, it leads us to our first song of the season, the Find a Pet song. Really? That's the best name they could come up with? The song is okay. I don't really have any comment about it. The song gives me almost literally no reaction. It's not catchy, so it doesn't get in your head. There's no chorus, so it doesn't come off as memorable. The only real feeling I have towards this song is curiosity. Why was this song nominated for an Emmy? Even if you like this song, I'm sure you'll agree that there are better candidates, like every other song of this season. Context doesn't really help me like this song either. It's just the two of them going down the line of pet selections and Rainbow deciding that she'll host a competition. And since it goes on for 3 minutes, it comes off as filler. It's shiny filler, but filler nonetheless. Whether you like or dislike the song, just remember it doesn't factor into my final ranking of the episode. Sometime later, the competition begins, and Rainbow is already proving that she has no idea what a pet is. She's going drill sergeant on them. This is borderline verbal abuse.
Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. Why do these animals want to be your pet in any realm of plausibility? They've probably never seen you before, and if this is your first impression, it's not a good one. Even her friends are calling her out. Oh wait, no, they're talking behind her back about it. At least Twilight and Applejack are. Fluttershy is, for no reason at all, pushed in a tortoise after Rainbow clearly stated that she wanted a pet that could fly. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen, on who you think is going to win. You get doubles for the bat, triples for the hummingbird, and nothing at all for the tortoise, because of course the tortoise is going to win. I mean, can you make it any more obvious? I guess they could if they went with the original title of this episode, The Tortoise and the Mare, which got rejected because it was considered too spoilery. You know, I like the spoiler title better, sort of like it's lampshading this whole thing. So Rainbow debriefs her potential pets on the, she calls them games, that they'll be doing. There are a bunch of categories like speed, agility, style, coolness, awesomeness, and radicalness. We get a montage of each of the games. Each one of them gets a candidate for later, and the tortoise fills every single one. You know what this reminds me of? That soccer mom who forces her kid into a sport, even though he has absolutely no talent in it, and hopes that it'll boost his self-esteem, except he keeps on losing every single game, and eventually he starts doubting his own self-worth. You know what that means, right? It means that every single one of the main 6 in this episode is a total asshole. Twilight, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, and Applejack for having these get-togethers behind Rainbow's back, and not feeling sorry about it. Rainbow for flat-out abusing animals, and Fluttershy for 1, letting this abuse happen, best animal caretaker in the world, and 2, forcing animals into it. Speaking of forcing animals into dangerous scenarios, the bat, the owl, the falcon, and the eagle make the final cut and are forced into a race through Ghastly Gorge, a place that is made out to be extremely dangerous. Why are you allowing this? And the tortoise tags along anyway, because he's a Mako sadist? Either that or Rainbow has a corn chip in her mane, and he's been trying to get it this whole time. You know, I think I would like this episode a lot more if that was the result. The corn chip one, not the Mako sadist. But in all seriousness, that tortoise is a Mako sadist. They go through the gorge while Rise of the Valkyries plays. Haven't heard that one in a while. It's easily the most exciting part of the episode, but it's hard to enjoy when the animals get repeatedly stuck in dangerous terrain. The falcon even leaves some brambles with a stick stuck to his wing. Eventually, Rainbow ends up getting stuck under a boulder, and all of her pet candidates leave her behind. I'd be lying if I said that I was surprised. Oh no, she's got a couple of feathers stuck under a rock and her friends are nearby expecting her back really quickly. Will she get out of this one? I don't know. After how Rainbow's been acting, she kinda deserves a little time out. I'm sorry, but Rainbow's just been terrible in this episode. Eventually, the tortoise comes around and lifts up the rock. Wow, Not only can the tortoise lift 1,000 times his own weight, he can jump the shark without a sweat. What has Fluttershy been feeding you? Steroids? There's breaking the suspension of disbelief, and then there's this. Yeah, the tortoise knocked over Opal's cat house earlier in the episode. That was a cat house. This is a 2-ton boulder. The animals cross the finish line, and Rainbow's friends begin wondering where she is. The tortoise crosses the finish line with Rainbow, and by Rainbow's rules, that means that he wins. You know what would reinforce the lesson in this episode better? If Rainbow didn't care about the rules and picked the tortoise as her pet anyway because he saved her life. Possibly. Maybe. And since the tortoise could take anything thrown at him, she names him Tank. I suppose a good question is, how the hell does Rainbow know what a tank is? Go, fanfiction writers, go! I've got to do the actual review part. This'll be fun. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this is the this is the most divisive episode in the series. In an episode like Magical Mystery Cure, you either really like it or you really don't. This episode is all over the place. Some people like it, some people hate it, and some people don't care about it. Some people even call this episode their favorite. I wondered why such a divide, then it hit me. This is a prime example of a so what conflict. What do I mean? Let's run down a short list here. In Storm of the Century, Parasprites are devouring the entire town. In Party of One, Pinky's friends might be avoiding her, a theory that now has merit. In Look Before You Sleep, 2 friends are being held hostage by a deranged nutball. In May the Best Pet Win, Rainbow Dash wants a pet. That's it. People who like this episode. If it wasn't Rainbow Dash, say it was Joe Schmo who wanted a pet, would you care? That being said, Rainbow Dash is part of a wider series, so it's a lot easier to care. So, I understand if you like this episode. Unfortunately, this episode goes out of its way to make me not care by turning everyone into assholes. I mean it. There's probably a lack of oversight, but I end up hating everyone in this episode, even though I think they were only trying to get me to hate Rainbow. Yeah, I think turning Rainbow into an asshole here was intentional, because that would be the only realm of possibility that the next episode could work. Oh, God, I just realized what episode was next. I'll deal with that problem later. Right now, I have to deal with Charlotte Fullerton, who I am going to declare, right now, my least favorite writer on the show. Yes, I like her less than Dave Polsky, less than Meriwether Williams. Yes, she wrote Suited for Success, but now she has 3 failures to her name. Don't hold much hope for Baby Cakes either. So yeah, I'm failing this episode. Why? For starters, everyone is an asshole. Everyone. Rainbow is abusing animals throughout the whole episode, and her friends either didn't care or pushed them into it. Yeah, that's why I said one sentence about it to Applejack, but that went absolutely nowhere. Was that supposed to put them on a high horse? It doesn't. Watching animals being abused isn't as bad as actually abusing them, but it's still bad. This conveys the message that abusing animals is okay. One sentence doesn't cut it, especially when you have the animal caretaker allowing this to happen. On a story level, it's insultingly predictable. We all knew the tank was going to win, even if we didn't see the toy. On a humor level, it's mediocre. Most of the jokes were variations on confusing a tortoise for a turtle, and unless it's a mine turtle, I don't care. If you like this episode, that's fine. Oh yeah, what the fuck was this about?